Roger Stone here. Your dollars are losing ground, but gold isn't. American Sovereign Bullion helps you protect your wealth through real, tangible assets. Through their nationwide wholesaler network, you get some of the best pricing on gold and silver delivered straight to your door. Since 1912, the U.S. dollar has lost 97% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold continues to prove its strength. So call 844-272-2428. That's 844-272-2428. Or visit dyingdollar.com to request your free gold and silver guide. That's dyingdollar.com.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Dr. Oz turned 66 yesterday. President Trump turns 80 on Sunday. And KT McFarland turns 35 on Monday. Isn't that right, KT?
Actually, it's in 2 weeks, but thank you.
Are you also a June baby, all kidding aside?
No, actually, I'm a July baby.
Oh, a July baby. July when?
July 22nd.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like July 4th or something. Okay, couple of weeks.
Oh, no, missed that one.
So what happened? Are you like a big, like my wife, for example, I love Danielle. She'll celebrate her birthday for weeks. My daughter's the worst. Her birthday lasts like a month. You know, me, it's like one day, here's a pair of socks, let's move on. Are you the type to, is a one-day birthday celebration? Do you do it for like a couple of weeks with the kids? What do you do?
I have 5 grown children. 11 grandchildren. Nobody remembers my birthday for a minute. So I celebrate it by, maybe I'll take myself out to lunch with a girlfriend. But really, nobody's given me a birthday present in a long time other than my grandchildren and my children. And that's the best present of all. It's my family.
100%. 11 grandchildren. God bless you. All right. Well, I'm sure you heard the conversation I just had. An amazing guest.
With Mike, yeah.
Mike Huckabee, great guy. And, everybody's talking about the same thing today, which is, did President Trump come off looking weak? That's the word. I don't use it. I love him. But that's the word. Even Trump supporters looking weak again yesterday with all these threats that he never really follows through on. Or is he working out something better? What does KT McFarland think?
Something better. The reason I thought yesterday was a different announcement was the statement that came out of the White House where, he said yet again, Iran's not going to have nuclear weapons, we're winning the war, blah, blah, blah. But he said that the following countries have seen the agreement and they're on board. U.S. and Israel, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and then he went on to list all of the Gulf Arab countries. The reason that's important is you need their buy-in if you're ever going to verify or enforce that agreement. We know that they're going to cheat. So you have to have snap inspections. But they're going to cheat. They're going to say, well, it's not convenient for you to come here and inspect today, maybe 2 weeks from now in another place. They're moving the stuff around that they have. So you have to have the ability to snap inspection. You also have to know what's really going on the ground. I'm sure we have fairly good intelligence. Israel has the best intelligence of what's happening inside Iran, but the Gulf Arabs know a lot. And then finally, if we get an agreement, how do you enforce that agreement? That's always been the problem with Iran. They're going to cheat, but then hey, what are you going to do about it? And if it's buy-in by those Gulf Arab countries, which have strong militaries in the region, very strong intelligence services, and that's where those countries are the places, their banks, or where Iran has put a lot of their money. So those countries have opened their books to us, and this is really in the last month or so. They've opened their books to us so we can see where those Iranian accounts, offshore accounts are. We've also cracked into their crypto accounts. So any money that's going to move around after an agreement, either if there is some kind of sanctions relief, we're going to know where it's spent. In the Obama era, they said, well, we're going to spend it on hospitals, and then they spent it on missiles. We'll know if they're spending it on missiles. When they say, well, the proxies aren't really ours, we're not using the money for proxies, we'll know when that money moves to proxies. So a lot of what the enforcement is
up. Come back to me, KT. Come on, you are doing great. You are doing great. Come back to me.
It's follow the money.
Follow the money. Well, I will tell you this. I brought up the possibility that we loosen these sanctions and Iran gets money. As far as I'm concerned, it's a bad deal if that's the case. I don't care what else they do. I don't care because whatever else they say they're going to do, they're not going to do. Okay,
they're not going to do it.
Right.
Yeah,
So
they're going to cheat.
Right. So if they end up signing some piece of paper, we're going to stop enriching uranium. They're going to lie. They're going to lie. They're not going to stop. Right. Right. So. And then we're going to give them money, and like I keep saying all morning long, they're not going to build hospitals, they're not going to build schools. Mm-hmm. What Huckabee said was, listen, I agree with you 100%, and he said, something tells me so does President Trump. So his recommendation was, don't listen to everything Trump says. Don't listen, certainly, to what the media is reporting. Put your faith in Trump that he knows that money to Iran is like crack to Charlie Sheen. He didn't say that, but I'm saying that. It's a very good analogy. But in all seriousness, we can't have that. We can't have it.
You have to know where the money's going. You can't give block grants to Iran. You can't unfreeze assets and say, okay, here's your money. Go do with it what you want. You have to know what they're giving the money to. So, for example, we could oversee those accounts. So if Iran says, I'm going to build a hospital, and we're going to see where the money goes. If it's not going to the hospital, we freeze it or we give it to somebody else. I think that at this point, from this point on, it'll be follow the money. And thank goodness the Secretary of the Treasury has been vigilant about tracking down those accounts that are in offshore accounts of the Iranian officials and the IRGC, and really brilliant at cracking their cryptocurrency accounts where they've been moving money around on cryptocurrencies, which is normally invisible. But the Treasury Department has figured out where it goes. Look, is it going to be a great deal? Is it going to be perfect? Is it going to be surrender, like the Japanese surrender? No, it's not. It's not going to be perfect. There'll be ups and downs and backs and forths, and there'll be Iranian Guard members who want to sabotage it. But it's a slow nudging towards peace. And I just keep thinking of two things. One, the Gaza peace accords. Remember, no, that was never going to work. We can never trust Hamas. Well, that's worked out pretty well, largely because all those other Arab countries have bought into it. And then with regard to Iran, it's the Abraham Accords is the bigger thing here. It's not even just Iran. It's getting all those countries in the region to recognize Israel, to trade with Israel, to invest in Israel and Israelis to invest in their countries, and then have an interlocking web of relationships between Israel and the Gulf Arab countries. That's how the peace will ultimately be kept in the Middle East.
You know what my fear is? Trump does all this, and maybe it starts to work just a little, okay? The jury's still out on that, not because of Trump's best attempts in the United States. You just can't trust Iran. And then the elections come in 2028, and it's not J.D. Vance or the guy that I really want is Marco Rubio. I haven't talked to anybody. I mean anybody. Any Trump supporter, any Republican. I'm in New York, of course. I speak to people in Florida and Israel, too. I haven't spoken to anybody that would rather have J.D. Vance as the nominee over Marco Rubio. Nobody. Maybe Erica Kirk. That's about it. But either way, if it's not one of them, or Ted Cruz, or Glenn Youngkin, or Ron DeSantis, who knows? And it ends up being a Democrat, whatever Trump has been doing will be completely unraveled. You realize that, yes?
Yes and no. If it is sort of established enough, it's hard to have him unravel it. Now, why do I say that? Look at the Abraham Accords signed at the end of Trump's first term, and that allowed travel, investment, trade between Israel and several of the Gulf Arab countries. That was not undone during the Biden administration. They couldn't have unwound that because it was so profitable and it was so successful for the signatories of the Abraham Accords. So I think the Abraham Accords, as President Trump said, and then he didn't really follow it up, but as he said a couple of weeks ago, part of this Iran deal, if we get a deal, is to all those countries sign on to the Abraham Accords. Once that happens, it becomes too lucrative too quickly. And so in 2 years' time, a Democrat may want to undo it and may want to, give Iran nuclear weapons like Barack Obama did, but it'll be very hard to unwind it.
I think, I hope you're right at least, and you're a lot smarter than me. So my money's on you, KT McFarland. As always, an excellent, excellent Friday segment. Have yourself a beautiful weekend. We'll do it again next week. Thank you so much. Great job.
Thank you.
All right, KT. You're great. KT McFarland right there. We're so lucky to have her each and every Friday right here on Sid and Friends in the Morning.